Hey Joe, how are you?
I'm doing good, Nair. I want to thank you for the opportunity of having me speak at Coin Nation Summit. It's an honor.
Yeah, not only you speak, you're one of the favorite speakers. I did a teaser when I met with you in Miami at the Bitcoin conference, and so many
Yeah, it was
people
a
are
pleasure.
still getting back to me and asking me about you and about this whole thing. And wow, I can't wait to hear more. And of course, you have some development since we met at the Bitcoin conference. But before we dive into that, I want the audience to get a little bit of a feedback about who you are.
Sure. Yeah, no, my name is Joey Langenbrunner. I am the head of mission, or sorry, I'm the deputy head of mission to the Free Republic of Liberland. So what does that mean? That means I am in second command of all of our operations within the United States. So what that means is, let's say, like lobbying, kind of on a state level, talking to different senators, talking to different, I'm like congressmen about the Free Republic of Liberland. And so, what is a great opportunity, to speak about Liberland here, like within the United States, is because the Free Republic of Liberland was formed on April 13th, which is Thomas Jefferson's birthday. And our Constitution, if you go to Liberland.org, you can find a draft of our Constitution, and it's based off of the U.S. Constitution. So when we say these things, to different senators and different congressmen and whatnot, they resonate with the idea of the Free Republic of Liberland, and so we've been trying to work with different like developments there. So that is what I help out with. Some other things that I help out with is our team over in Europe. So the Free Republic of Liberland is based in the Balkans. So it is a small piece of land that is in between Serbia and Croatia. I don't want to go too much into the details, for time on why it was unclaimed and like why we're claiming it, but maybe we can talk about that later. But so it's about 7 square kilometers. It's 2.5 times the size of Monaco, so we can make it nice, there in the Balkans on the bank of the Danube.
Wow, wow. And so your role is to talk to all these decision makers, senators, be the public face everywhere. By the way, you're speaking only in the States or all other nations that you're welcoming and talking to?
Yeah, yeah. So I can't give too much details on that, unfortunately. But mostly what I do here is in the U.S. But we've started to talk to a few other nations, about how we could build our diplomatic presence in other nations, so in turn they can recognize us because if no one knows about the Free Republic of Liberland, it is an unrecognized country at the moment,
Hmm.
and so there's certain things that we need to do to get recognized, so we'll work on this country and then this country and then this country, and then it becomes a domino effect. And so the talks are going very, very well. A lot of times when I do interviews, people always ask, hey, we haven't heard of you since 2015, since the country was found, what's going on. It's like, well, we keep things unwrapped. What we're doing is very sensitive, when it comes to like diplomatic, like it's all political. So we keep things under wraps, and we're slowly building, you know. And then when we're ready to come live about this and that, like you'll hear about us, So yeah, we were featured on RT, we were featured on Al Jazeera, we were featured on like BBC. There's a Vice documentary on us, and all of them were done in the beginning. But now we're starting to get like a little bit closer in some of our developments, and so now I feel a little bit a little bit more okay to start speaking about more of our developments here.
Hmm. So you went to the Bitcoin conference. In what goal? What kind of strategic people or partners were you wishing to meet and connect to?
Well, the first one that was the most strategic in meeting was you, of course.
Yeah.
And then yeah, yeah. And then it was mostly there just to meet and greet, do a few interviews. So while I met you, I did a few other interviews, and we've talked. So it was really just about getting the word about Liberland out to like the Bitcoin community. And the reason why that is so important is because Liberland is a country that is formed like for Bitcoiners, and we are funded by Bitcoiners. So, we are kind of like the first country that, sees Bitcoin as, like our currency. So like the only reason, how we're able to get funded and do things is because of like cryptocurrencies, and these sorts of things, so of course we have like fans like Roger Ver, that help us out as well, and a few other people that are big in the crypto space. And, like we work in a very like decentralized manner as well, so like all of our operations here, in the US, like we kind of lead our own, we lead our own like diplomatic efforts. And, it's quite the journey, and it's a wonderful experience so far. And every single day, as long as we get further in our journey towards like recognition, then it's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, and I really see you're taking this to the long run, not rushing anywhere, and you're there, and eventually all the right things will appear in the right time. So I know that I met you at the Bitcoin conference, but I know you're taking this path and road, and you're doing these interviews, and you're pushing it everywhere as a part of a bigger vision that you and all involved have. And I believe in what you have to offer, and I think it's great. But not all the people can imagine this right now. Sometimes it sounds for them like untrue, unreal. How do you project the future to them? Because for the average person, like if somebody is watching us who's not, or she is not advanced in the Bitcoin community and everything, how are you pitching this in a clear, easy to understand phrases and words?
Clear. It's complicated, you see. So what's very interesting about what we're doing, like let me speak a little bit about the area. So basically the land we're claiming, like the last nation to claim this land, was Yugoslavia. And so when they fell, there was a lot of violence, there was genocide, there was these awful things that happened in the area. That was 30 years ago. Okay. So that land was unclaimed, since the fall of Yugoslavia. So like 25, almost 30 years now. So what we want to do is basically bring, both sides, or all sides of the Balkans together, and show how Liberland could push the idea, that the fact that we want to be the 21st century model on how a state should operate. And some of your viewers might ask us about this, how are we able to accomplish this? And it's simple, but it's complicated. But it's because of blockchain technology. Of course, we're able to, get everything done, because of the funding, through cryptocurrencies. But our governance system as well, and this is not like a new idea, but we're putting our governance system on the blockchain. So when it comes to voting, this is very common in a lot of protocols, like EOS, Polkadot, I can go on and on. Like let's say like land, like registry, this is something that the country of Bermuda is already doing. Ship registry, company registry, everything that you can think of. Our judicial system, which will be the most complex.
Wow.
And this is something that we're working on right now is, how can we have a transparent judicial system on the blockchain? This is something that is very, very important for, something that the state, really needs to be careful on, to make sure that, if you're a criminal in Liberland, there's justice and, and this stuff. So it's complicated to answer your question when it comes to a vision. But what I can go back is that we really espouse our our ideas on the founding of America in many, many ways, and this is why our country is founded on April 13th, which is Jefferson's birthday. So we stand on the same ideals of the founding of America. If you asked like the British like a few hundred years ago if this was going to become like a great country and they were going to revolt and stuff like that, it would have been mind-blowing idea. But to be clear, this is not anything violent, this is anything like that. This is a peaceful revolution, We see this land is unclaimed. We want to claim it. We want to build a beautiful city, and we want to put all governance on the blockchain, and again, what I said, be the 21st century model on how a state should operate. Even though we will be small, we will be like the third or fourth smallest country. We want to be a big voice, on how governments should be transparent. It's a big vision, and I'm not here to say it will be perfect. It will not be a utopia. It is simply an experiment, just like America.
I love it. I love it. I think this is a very, very important part in the interview, because you allowed me to understand more about, running a country on blockchain, taking the best ideas and experiment and do it. And you said it in a very modest way. And I think a lot of people are connecting to it. And a lot of people right now in other nations are demanding more from the government. They want their government to run more like a startup. They want everything to be easy access, smart contract, and not all the governments are working for the public, if to say the least. So right, so I think we saw it with Estonia, for example, when in other countries, when they launched their e-residency program, where people will be able to get some sort of a residency online. And all the interfaces, everything looked like a high-tech company. You didn't think like it's a government or like, and I think that you have the opportunity to make it work the right way. And again, you said it very modest. And what's going to be the name of the city?
We're still not sure what we're going to be called, the city, because at the beginning we were thinking about calling it like Liberapolis. And then we're thinking, well, maybe we should find something that kind of fits, like in the Balkan area, so we're not sure. We might try to, like when it comes to like naming things in the city, to find something that is a little bit more familiar to like the region, so I don't know.
Wow.
But like it might have like a Balkan name, maybe something that isn't like Serbian or Croatian or something like this. I'm not sure, but one thing one point you brought up is Estonia and their e-residency program. That is just another idea, that they did and we took as well, and we will see if we can do it better as well. So right now, if you go to liberland.org and put in an application, you can apply for our e-residency card, and then that will get you certain services. One of those services will be able to, you will be able to start a company in Liberland as well, and we will try to make it easier, than the way that Estonia is doing it. But, Estonia had a good idea, and, let's bring all the best ideas, to Liberland, but with a forward vision.
I love it. I love it. I'll actually do it. And a lot of people are watching us. This is super relevant for the summit. We are the Coin Nations Summit. So this is a perfect topic and interview for the summit. And by the way, for your idea of taking the best from each country or each concept or each technology, this was actually, I'm coming from Israel. That was the idea of the establishment of the state, where the father of Israel, Herzl, when he envisioned the state, he said that the state should include the best minds, the brains from all over the world to take the best. So sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? You can take something and make it better, as you said. And I think it's beautiful. It's again modest and smart. And I just want to log in right now and get the residency and start experimenting this. Do you get like a digital version of a card or something, like a confirmation?
Right. So you actually get a card, in the mail. It shouldn't take too long. At the end of the day, you're still dealing with the government, so maybe not be like right away, but but there's an application you put in. We do like the KYC, we do background checks, to make sure, like these are good people that we want to be part of a program as well. And so if you want to become a citizen, you would apply for the e-residency card. You go through the application, and then you can go to our website, for more details on how to become a citizen. But if you have any questions on how to become a citizen or how you can get involved, because if you want to become a citizen, the best way is to get involved, And so the best way to get involved is email me at usa@gov.ll.land. So that's usa@gov.ll.land. usa@gov.ll.land. I'm sure we'll put it.
We'll follow you. Yeah, we'll put it now, and also follow you on LinkedIn, right?
Yes, please, or on Twitter, and email me your skills and what you want to do for the country. When you're trying to build a country, there's many things you have to do. One project that I hope to start is our soccer team or like our football team. Because if we're gonna be a country in Europe, we need to have like the best like football team. So we have a country beer, we have a wine, we need like a good team. We have a chess team, I believe, all to compete and stuff like that. And I say this in light of the Olympics going on. Maybe one day, someone could be holding our flag, while running track or playing soccer or something like that. So
wow, amazing. I love these simple examples so people can start understand this is real, this is happening. They can apply, they can follow you and connect with you on LinkedIn and Twitter. They already have your email. So stick around here on the summit. I'm sure people want to connect with you. Maybe we're going to create a table, and you can run a table with many participants to answer their questions, because I'm sure now they watch us, they do have. So we're going to add you, you're going to have your own table talking about it. And amazing. I'm so happy that we met at the Bitcoin conference.
It's a pleasure.
Yes. Good luck to us, and enjoy the summit.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye-bye.